Plank Purgatory, day 29. Today I want to talk about failure. I got a comment yesterday on Plank Purgatory, day 28. Runner Boy asked me if I had ever done a plank to failure, or specifically if I did one at the beginning of Plank Purgatory or before I entered into Plank Purgatory. I have not. I did a 5-minute hold a couple months back. That was not super easy. That was quite difficult. But I didn't fail. I never got to the point of failure. And I did a 3-minute hold the very first day, and I quit at 3 minutes and something seconds. But I wouldn't say I failed. If I chose to keep going, my muscles were still capable. I just chose to quit. And that's really had me thinking about this idea of failure. Holding a plank to failure specifically is not appealing, to say the least. In fact, it's kind of scary. It's kind of scary to imagine all of that pain and suffering and torment, and also the fact that it is absolutely completely voluntary, and if you sign up for it, that's your prerogative. That bothers me. Just visualizing it, just thinking about the suffering that I would have to put myself through, comparing it to how much a 2.5-minute plank sucks, a 3-minute plank sucks. The 5-minute plank was no fun. Not that planking's ever really been fun. It is not a pretty picture to paint. Planking to failure. It's very unappealing. And I've been thinking about this. I have a weightlifting background. That's kind of how I got started in fitness. Unless you count sports, weightlifting is where fitness really caught my eye. Weightlifting is what I initially got into, and in weightlifting, the line between success and failure is very cut and dry. You either lift the weight or you don't. And even if you get the weight up with really awful form, even if you injure yourself doing it, you could still count that as a success in terms of did I fail or not? Like, did I fail a deadlift? No. Technically, it ripped my arms off of my shoulders after I picked it up, but I still picked it up. So the line is a lot more cut and dry. Did you squat 400 pounds? No. When I tried to squat 400 pounds, the weight of the steel crumpled my back and laid me out like a pancake. Did you squat 200 pounds? Yeah, I squatted 200 pounds for 10 reps. There's a line of failing and not failing that's very well defined. And when I started doing calisthenics, when I really got into it the past 2 years, I noticed this doesn't really exist. This doesn't really exist in calisthenics. It's very rare that you fail push-ups. Maybe you fatigue yourself and you fail a rep. Maybe you can't complete a rep, but give yourself 10 minutes to recover and you could do that rep again. It's not like if you fail squatting 400 pounds, you could just wait 10 minutes because you're fatigued and go back and squat 400 pounds. At least that's my opinion. It doesn't seem the same. Calisthenics is a lot more blurry. The line of failure is blurry to me. I can do, let's say, 40 push ups. I could do 40 push ups and then I get really fatigued. And then if I try to do one more, I will fail. If I stop for a second, if I stop, I catch my breath, I let some blood, draw that lactic acid out of my muscles or whatever, I could probably get that rep. Actually, there's a similar thing in weightlifting. Breathing squats. If you are squatting, let's say 135 pounds, let's say you get 10 reps and then you're basically at the point of fatigue. You can't do a single more rep. Give yourself 10 seconds, breathe, heavy breathing, deep breathing, and maybe you could get that one squat. Maybe you could get another one, third one, fourth one. Maybe you get 10 more. And when you fail, you fail. Calisthenics, I haven't really reached that point of failure before. I haven't really reached the point of I can't do another pull-up. I can't do another push-up. I can't hold the plank for one more second. It's very uncommon that I see this. I have seen it. I have gone for max reps of pull-ups, but now that I'm thinking about it, did I really fail or did I choose to quit? Is it possible that when I stopped doing pull-ups, I gave myself a second to breathe, I just hung there for a bit, and maybe I could get one more. Maybe I could get another one in. Maybe. I noticed this just a few days ago with push-ups. I saw a video by Endorphin Enjoyer where he did like 150 push-ups in a row. Actually, he showed me this video and he stretches. Basically, he goes to the point of near failure and then he stretches. And by stretching, by breathing, he can unlock a few more reps. And once he gets those done, right back to it. Stretch a little, get some breath in you, couple more reps. See how far you could go. And that's a very interesting thing that exists. The fact that we can actually push past the perceived point of failure. With the plank, I don't know if I'm actually failing when I quit. I don't think I am. My abs aren't exploding. It's not like there's a crazy amount of tension in my body. It's not like anything's breaking. I just don't want to tolerate the pain anymore. I don't want it. And maybe that's a problem. With weightlifting, you see this quite a bit at the upper end with these really big guys. You see torn pecs, torn biceps, all sorts of weird stuff, right? And maybe this is because of performance enhancing substances. Maybe this is something that does not often occur to a natural individual. Regardless, in weightlifting, you tend to see these types of injuries a lot more. Muscle tears, sprains, and that's not the case with calisthenics. Calisthenics, the injury rate seems to be quite a bit lower, and that's interesting to me. It's interesting that there is a point in weightlifting where the actual muscle, the actual tendon or ligament fails. It can no longer do what it's doing. It can no longer hold up that weight. It gets ripped right off the bone. And that's a different type of failure. That's a big type of failure. That is something even scarier, honestly. I've never heard of someone ripping their abs up because of a plank or ripping their abs off. I've never heard of someone tearing their pelvic bone or their pelvic their abs off their pelvic muscle or whatever, their pelvis. You know what I'm saying? Because of a plank. Even this guy, the world record holder in plank, I gotta look up his name. Even this guy, 9 hours and what, 35 minutes of straight plank. Could he have gone another minute? Did he actually fail, or did he just decide that's enough? I've done my duty, I've done my job. Did he fail? It didn't seem like it. Or maybe it did. Maybe that really was his absolute breaking point. If there was another guy right next to him holding a plank for the exact same amount of time, would he have kept holding it? I don't know. I've been thinking about this because I'm thinking about a plank until failure. I'm thinking about trying that. How long can I actually plank? Where do I quit? Where do I fail? Because I don't think I'll break. I hope I won't break. I hope I don't rip my abs off of my pelvic bone. I hope that after the plank, I'm all right. I'm probably sore, but I'm all right. But where would I quit? When would I quit? That is an interesting question for me. What would it take for me to quit? 7 minutes of pain and suffering? 10 minutes of pain and suffering? The plank is very uncomfortable on the entire body. The whole body is straining. And I really don't like that image in my head. The whole body straining, suffering. For what? That's the question. For what? Why? Why are you here? Why are you doing this? In comparison, today was super easy. I did 15 sets of 1 minute plank, and there truly is no comparison between a 1 minute plank and a plank to failure. Unless the 1 minute plank is your plank to failure, then they're quite similar. For me, however, I'm not at that point. I am honestly scared of a plank to failure. And so maybe that's what I gotta do. Maybe that's what I gotta do. Maybe I just need to say tomorrow, I'm not prioritizing the push ups, the pull ups, or the squats. I'm gonna go for a plank to failure. Maybe I'll make it the full 15 minutes. Maybe longer. Maybe I won't even make it 5 minutes. How long can I last in the plank? I almost don't even want to find out. But there's so much suspense in this question. There's so much tension that maybe that's just what I'll do. Maybe tomorrow is a good day to go for a plank to failure. I'm still kind of sore in my thighs, in my legs, definitely in my back, and I bet that will all come out in the plank. I bet after 3 minutes, 4 minutes, I'm going to start feeling my back. Right now, doing these 1 minute holds, I don't feel too much. My blood is barely pumping. it's not working too hard. My heart's not working too hard. The 1 minute holds are not very difficult for me, so I'll give it a try. I'll give the plank to failure a try. I won't make any promises, but I'll see what I can do. Will I actually go to failure? Who knows?